What if I told you? The moment she walked away smiling wasn't the end of the story, but the beginning of hers falling apart. What if that smirk wasn't confidence, but arrogance dressed in temporary comfort? And what if the most devastating move you could make after she left was nothing at all? She thought she won, thought she broke you, thought she'd walk away clean while you unraveled. She didn't expect you to go quiet. She didn't expect you to go cold. And she damn sure didn't expect you to become untouchable. That's where the regret starts. Not when you chase, not when you cry, but when you disappear and rise. This is where Stoicism meets dark psychology, not for games, not for manipulation, but for clarity, for emotional control, for the kind of transformation that turns heartbreak into fuel and silence into power. You don't need to get her back, you need to get yourself back. The version of you that doesn't beg, that doesn't react, that doesn't need. This is your playbook. This is how you become the man she never saw coming, the man she thought she escaped, only to realize she lost forever. And when that hits her, that's the moment she'll regret that smile for the rest of her life. If you're done being the one left behind, if you're ready to make peace your revenge, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My peace is the consequence. Number 1. The smile wasn't victory, it was escape. She walked away smiling, and in that moment, you probably thought she won. That smile cut deeper than her words. It said, "I'm fine without you." It said, "You weren't enough, but here's what you didn't see." Under that smile was fear. Fear that you'd figure her out. Fear that you'd hold her accountable. Fear that you'd grow into something she couldn't reach again. That smile wasn't strength. It was escape. She didn't smile because she conquered. She smiled because she got out before she had to face herself. That's what people do when they know they took more than they gave. They leave with a smirk and a suitcase full of guilt they won't unpack until after the silence sets in. And they think, in that moment, that you'll collapse, that you'll chase, that you'll spiral, because that makes their story easier to live with. But you don't give her that ending. You don't fall apart to feed her comfort. You rise in it. You sharpen your mind. You harden your spirit. You learn to live without the very thing you thought you needed. And in doing so, you become more than she could ever handle. That smile, it fades. The real smile comes months later when she sees you different, stronger, stoic, cold in the way only a man who healed without applause can be. And by then, it's too late. You're no longer looking back. She walked away thinking she left a man behind. She had no idea she woke up the version of you she'll never have access to again. That's the moment she'll regret forever. Not when she left, but when she realized what she walked away from was the best thing she could never break. Number 2, her comfort comes from your collapse. Let's make something clear. Her peace, right after she walked away, was built on one assumption, that you would fall apart. That's the sick comfort she left with. She wasn't just moving on, she was counting on your breakdown, because as long as you were broken, it made her decision easier to live with. Your collapse was her justification. The more you suffered, the more she could tell herself, "I had no choice." That's how it works. When someone leaves, they don't just want distance. They want to win the narrative. They want to be the one who moved on while you struggled. They want to see you post those sad quotes. They want to hear through friends that you're not the same, because that makes them the strong one. That makes walking away feel like power instead of cowardice. But when you don't collapse, when you don't chase, don't rage, don't even react, that's when things start to crumble on her side. Because now the story she told herself doesn't hold up. The breakup wasn't a clean break, it was a miscalculation. You weren't the dependent emotional wreck she painted you as. You were just momentarily wounded. And now you're moving differently, not recklessly, strategically. Her comfort starts to shift into anxiety, because if you're not broken, then maybe she's the one who lost something real, something rare. And the moment that thought creeps in, that's when she starts scrolling, starts checking, starts wondering. Your calm becomes the thing that eats away at her story, because no one can stay comfortable for long when they realize the person they walked away from wasn't supposed to disappear that easily. Number 3, the more you react, the more she wins. She's not watching to see if you're okay. She's watching to see if she still matters. And every emotional reaction you give her after the breakup only confirms it. The angry texts, the desperate calls, the sudden gym selfies, the quote you post about being betrayed by the one you trusted. She sees it all. And every single time she thinks, got him. Reacting is her proof that she left a scar, proof that she still owns space in your mind, proof that her absence controls you more than her presence ever did. And that's the real trap. The more you show emotion, the more you reinforce her story, that she was powerful enough to break you. And if you're still reacting, even in silence, you haven't taken back control. You're still playing her game. You're just doing it quietly. But Stoic power is the opposite. It's not about bottling things up. It's about refusing to give your energy to anything unworthy of it. You don't explain your pain. You sit with it. You master it. You learn to let the emotion burn through you and leave only strength behind. That's when everything changes, when your stillness becomes louder than your anger ever could. She expects you to lash out, to prove you still care, even if it's through hate. But when she gets nothing, when she can't read you anymore, that's when the game flips. That's when the doubt creeps in, because she knew how to handle you when you were emotional. But now, you're unreadable, unreachable, and that's what really scares her. Not your rage, but your calm. Number 4, silence is the sound of strength. She expected noise. She expected chaos. She expected the kind of emotional fallout that validates her importance. That's why silence isn't just the absence of sound, it's a declaration of indifference. And when she hears nothing, not a message, not a reaction, not even a passive attempt to show her what she's missing, that's when the silence starts to feel like punishment. But here's the thing, it's not a tactic, it's not a game, it's your new standard. Because once a man stops explaining himself, once he stops defending what he gave and starts protecting what's left, he becomes dangerous, in the calmest way possible. That's Stoicism. It's not emotional suppression, it's emotional command. You don't ignore her out of spite. You stay silent because nothing she says or does deserves a single drop more of your energy. This is where the regret starts to grow roots, because silence leaves a void. And in that void, she starts to imagine. Why hasn't he reached out? Is he really over it? Has he replaced me? Her mind fills in the blanks with questions you'll never answer, and those questions will haunt her longer than any message ever could. Most men break the silence too early. They check in, they fold, they reach back to a door that was already closed. But the men who stay still, who stay quiet, they become a mystery, and nothing hits harder than the man who once gave her everything and now gives her nothing, not even a reaction. That's not cruelty, that's control. Number 5, upgrade in the shadows. The loudest flex isn't a comeback she can see, it's one she can't. The smartest men don't post their progress. They don't show their every gym session, every dollar made, every healing quote, because real elevation doesn't ask for attention. It demands respect in silence. She expects you to flaunt it, to throw your growth in her face, because that means you're still thinking about her, still performing for her, still tethered to her approval. But when you upgrade in the shadows, when your glow-up is private and your progress is locked down, that's when the real psychological shift happens. Because now she doesn't know what you're doing. And the mind always fills silence with fear. It starts small. She checks your page. Nothing. She asks mutual friends. They say you've been quiet. That's when her confidence cracks, because silence plus success equals mystery, and mystery equals power. You've stopped being predictable. You've stopped being available. You've stopped giving her anything to work with, and that eats away at her more than any public victory ever could. This isn't about hiding. This is about building without interference. Growth in the dark is the most powerful kind because it's pure, uninfluenced, unbothered, and by the time she realizes how far you've come, she'll also realize she no longer belongs in the world you've created. She walked away from a man. She won't recognize the force he became. Number 6. Become the man. She can't reach anymore. She thought you'd stay within reach, maybe not physically, but emotionally. She thought deep down you'd always be one text away, always watching, always lingering, always available. That's the version of you she expected to leave behind. A man who still hoped, who still needed, who still remembered her like she was unforgettable. But the man you're becoming, he's not reachable, not to her, not anymore. This is the shift. When you stop trying to prove your worth and start embodying it, when you stop showing her what she lost and start becoming someone she could never access again, even if she wanted to. You don't just heal, you outgrow. And that growth isn't surface level, it's foundational. Your mindset changes, your circle tightens, your standards sharpen, and slowly, without forcing it, you elevate into a reality where she no longer fits. It's not about blocking her, it's not about punishing her. It's about rising so far beyond who you were that the version of you she knew doesn't even exist anymore. She left a man with wounds, but those wounds became armor. She left thinking you'd fall apart. But the pieces came back stronger, colder, more focused. Now she can look, but she can't touch. She can wonder, but she won't know. She'll feel that distance. And it won't be physical, it'll be spiritual, emotional, psychological. She'll realize she's not being ignored, she's being outgrown. And the hardest truth for her to face? You're not bitter, you're just better. And that door, it isn't closed, it's gone. Number 7. Detachment isn't hate, it's mastery. She wants to believe you hate her, that would be easier. Hate still means emotion, hate still means connection. If you're angry, she still matters. If you resent her, she still has power. But when she sees nothing, no bitterness, no shade, no lingering energy, just detachment. That's what breaks her narrative, because hate is loud. But mastery is quiet. Detachment isn't about pretending you don't feel. It's about owning what you feel and choosing not to act from it. You're not repressing, you're refining. You're done living in reaction to what she did. That's what Stoicism teaches. You don't control what happens, you control how you respond. And now, you've chosen not to respond at all, because her chapter is finished, and your story no longer includes her name. It's not cold, it's clear. You're not proving anything. You've simply moved on from the version of yourself that needed closure, attention, or revenge. She doesn't haunt you because you emptied out the space she used to fill. You've replaced the emotional chaos with clarity and the need for her with purpose. And now, she's just a page in a book you've outgrown. She'll notice, not because you told her, but because she'll feel it. Detachment is energy, and when it's real, it radiates. She'll sense that she no longer lives in your head, that she no longer controls your emotions, that you've stopped waiting, stopped hurting, stopped remembering, and that, more than anger, more than silence, is what leaves her with nothing. Because hate can be forgiven. But being forgotten, that's the wound that never heals. Number 8. Her memory will turn into regret. At first, she'll tell herself you didn't matter that much, that she made the right call, that her life is better without you. That narrative will keep her warm for a while. But time has a way of peeling back delusion, and what's left underneath isn't peace, it's memory. And that memory, when it meets your silence, your growth, your absence, turns into regret. Because as you rebuild, she'll start to remember what she lost. Not instantly. Regret is slow. It creeps in when she compares, when she meets someone else who looks good but doesn't understand her the way you did, when she gets attention but not protection, when she laughs but doesn't feel safe. That's when the cracks start to show, and suddenly, what she walked away from doesn't look so replaceable anymore. She'll remember your consistency, your patience, the way you showed up when you didn't have to, the way you listened, stayed, led, and the weight of that memory. It grows heavier when she realizes you're gone. Not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. You didn't wait for her to change. You outgrew the need for her to come back. Regret hits hardest when there's no door left to walk through, when what used to be familiar becomes unreachable, when your name is no longer a question mark in her mind, but a full stop. That's the moment it clicks. That she didn't just lose a man, she lost a future. And the worst part for her, she smiled when she walked away. But now, she won't be smiling when she remembers. Number 9. Let her watch you rise without her. Don't block her, don't hide, don't make some grand gesture of disappearing. Stay visible, just out of reach. Because nothing twists deeper than watching someone you once took for granted thrive without you. Let her see it. Let her watch your silence turn into structure. Let her feel the sting of knowing she's no longer needed, no longer welcome, and no longer part of the life she assumed you couldn't build alone. You don't have to flaunt it. You don't even have to speak. Just rise. Let your glow-up be quiet, disciplined, and undeniable. Let her stumble across your name in rooms she never thought you'd be in. Let her hear about your progress secondhand. That's when the regret deepens, because now she's not just remembering what she had. She's seeing what she can't have again. This is dark psychology at its cleanest. Zero aggression, zero revenge, just ascension. You become living proof that she made the wrong choice, not because you told her, because she saw it. And the difference now, you don't need her to see it. You're not doing it for her. You're doing it because it's who you were always meant to be before she slowed you down. Let her scroll through your piece. Let her sit with the reality that you're not angry. You're just unavailable. You're not distant out of spite. You're elevated beyond her reach. You're done explaining your worth. You're just walking in it now. And the more she watches, the more that smile she left with will start to fade. Because now she's not looking at the man she walked away from. She's looking at the man she'll never stand beside again. Number 10. The final blow. You feel nothing. This is the part she never saw coming. Not the silence, not the growth, not even the distance. The real blow, the part that hits her the hardest. It's when she realizes you don't feel a thing. Not hate, not love, not nostalgia, not curiosity, just nothing. And that nothing, that's the end game. Because feeling nothing isn't numbness, it's evolution. You've moved so far past the pain that even the memory of her doesn't sting anymore. That moment she walked away smiling, it doesn't echo. It doesn't haunt you. It just happened. It's no longer a wound. It's just part of a story you've outgrown. And that's what she'll never recover from. People can handle anger. They can even handle sadness. But indifference, Indifference is the emotional death sentence. It says, "You no longer have access to my mind, my heart, or my future." And when she senses that shift, when her name doesn't spark anything in you, her power vanishes. That smile she wore the day she left becomes the mask she has to wear every time she realizes you're never coming back emotionally. You don't need closure because you became it. You don't need her apology because her absence gave you something better, clarity. And now, you're not trying to make her regret it. She already does, because you're not chasing, you're not hating, you're healed. And that's the final blow. You feel nothing, because she means nothing now. She walked away smiling, thinking she'd broken you, thinking she'd won. But she didn't realize that smile marked the beginning of your rise. You didn't chase, you didn't plead, you didn't scream, you just evolved. And now, she's not looking back at the same man she left. She's looking at the man she'll never get close to again. You turned heartbreak into discipline, pain into silence, and silence into power. You followed the path of stoicism and dark psychology, not to destroy her, but to rebuild you, stronger, colder, wiser, unreachable. If this hit you, if you're done feeling, done waiting, and ready to live above it all, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. Her ending was my beginning. This is Stoic blessing. Stay silent, stay focused, stay powerful.